joined by Katie Raymer, third-year medical student with LECOM, and placed here in Festus, Missouri at Mercy Jefferson. Katie, kind of tell us about your background.
Yeah, so I've kind of lived all over the states, but I'm originally from Arizona, and that's kind of, my hometown. Shout out to Tucson. Wildcats, let's go. Yeah, so for me, I went to a small school there. I really didn't think college was in the works for me because I didn't know anybody that had gone to college. I was extremely, I was in a very underserved area, so very low income. So I didn't ever think that college would be something for me. I actually have a son, so had him a little bit young. And then that kind of turned me around and I decided to go back to school. My husband was very, very encouraging. And then I got a master's in art history and now I'm here. Yeah. Kind of all over the place.
So how did you find out about LECOM?
Yeah. So I actually had no idea what a DO was. I was like, I thought it was just MD. I didn't even know that existed. Then I found out that my PCP was a DO and I was like, but actually while I was kind of looking at different medical schools, I was also teaching. I had a student that was also applying to medical schools, and she was the one that had told me about DO programs. And so I started to look more into that, and I had spoken to a few individuals that had really, it definitely encouraged me to look at DO schools over MD schools just because they thought that DO would be a lot more, accepting of a non-traditional student like myself. So I was just looking around, Googling a lot. And then I, stumbled across LECOM and it just seemed like a great fit. So I was really excited to get accepted. And
what does DO stand for exactly?
Doctor of Osteopathy.
Okay, very good. So you would be considered sort of a non-traditional student, okay? And so did you have to do anything prior to going to LECOM? What was your degree in? You had an art master's?
Yeah, so I had a master's in art history. And so I actually did take the MCAT because I didn't even know that LECOM didn't, even need the MCAT.
Okay.
So that was a lot of fun. But I think it was good that I took it because it did prepare me a lot for the very hefty exams you will be taking in med school. But I did have to take a bunch of science classes, and because I was teaching at the time, I actually got them for free. So it was kind of nice. Yeah.
Good deal. And so then you transferred into LECOM, a couple of years there, and now you're in is this your first year away from LECOM?
Yeah. So what we do is we go to Pennsylvania for 2 years. We do our kind of out of clinic, learning. And then we do our in-clinic rotations. And so we're still learning, we're still taking exams, we're still studying a lot.
Gotcha.
But there's a lot more hands-on learning. And so we get assigned to a hospital. And so that's why we're out here.
Okay, very good. So you've got some other what I call members of your cohort here today. Are you guys kind of on that same where you're working as a team and studying together? And how's that all that work?
We definitely study, we bounce stuff off of each other all the time. But I don't think we study as much together. I know because we're all on different rotations, and we all take different exams at the end of our rotation, it's hard for us to study together as much.
Very good. You've kind of gone over some of your challenges. So what was the greatest challenge that you had in this process? Was it just deciding this is the path to go?
Yeah. Well, honestly, my biggest challenge was imposter syndrome. That's so real. And I really didn't think, I swear for the first year of medical school, I kept waiting for the call for LECOM to be like, we actually accepted the wrong Katie Raymer. My bad. Lots of just crying, which is just normal for medical school, I think, for your first couple of years. Because there's just so much information to retain. And I had come from such a different background that I felt like I didn't belong there.
Okay.
And so I think that was something that was really, really difficult to just know that I did belong there. I did deserve to be there, and I was working hard, and it was okay.
How long did that take for you to kind of overcome that?
A year.
A year?
Yeah, I think, I still definitely have those moments of am I smart enough to be here? Because you're just surrounded by such brilliant people, that just, they could take some concept and like overnight they just got it. And I'm like, I'm spending 60 hours a week and I'm barely passing. What is happening?
Sure.
But you just kind of get into the groove and you learn that you're going to be good at some things and then other people are going to be good at other things. So,
Very good. So if you're a student at home looking at it, what does a day or week or semester look like for you really in the LECOM program? So let's say you are at Lake Erie and you're there for the 2 years. How does that look semester to semester, week to week?
Yeah, so I actually went to the Seton Hill location, that's okay. It's right outside of Pittsburgh. And so I did the problem-based learning rotation or pathway. So I know that my pathway looks a little bit different from other students. But basically, we'd go in the first couple of months, it was all lecture because they wanted to do anatomy and certain, kind of foundational classes. And then after that, we actually learned based on cases. So we would meet with a few other students and a preceptor, and then they would present a case to us, and we would actually learn through the case. We would go home and do a lot of independent studying. There's a ton of independent studying and us working together and trying to figure out together like these different concepts. So it's hard to say. I feel like every day is different. And each month, even now during rotations, each month is totally different. I can't even say like, oh, this is how I study for this. Like, no, it's just, you just
It just
vibe.
sounds like the whole LECOM process, the more I listen to it, is about supporting different learning styles, providing that opportunity. And in your situation, it's just like never give up, right? That's, and then maybe just make sure you're open to a career maybe you weren't even thinking about. Is that?
Yeah, absolutely. That was definitely the case for me. It fit. And I think one thing that helped me even overcome everything is LECOM also offers some really cool summer stuff. Like I was involved in what's called Bridging the Gaps. It's an outreach program over the summer. And I got to do that, and I got to work in the community, and I think that helped me get through a lot of it as well. It helped me kind of refresh, realize why I was doing what I was doing, and really who I was doing it for. So coming back in the second year, I felt amazing, and the first year was so incredibly difficult, and then the second year going in, I was just like, I got this. So I think that was something for me, was just having that kind of community outreach and remembering like why you're doing something. Mm-hmm. And then I was even allowed to kind of continue that into the second year. I started a program, I call it Rounds. It's reaching out, understanding needs, delivering support, where we actually went to, like, I would gather other second years and we would go to a homeless shelter once a month. And we would do these like health lectures for them and do like hands-on learning and like really help them advocate for their own health. And I think it helped a lot of students like get out of their shell, get out of just, these textbooks and where you're just studying, and going out into the community and showing kind of what you know and really applying it and seeing, how much it can impact other people's lives. Mm-hmm. That was a huge thing for me and it helped me overcome a lot of those fears, and a lot of that pressure was taken away. So
thanks for sharing your story. Is there anything that you'd want to share just in general as a summary that I didn't ask today?
No, I think we covered a lot.
I just think your story is pretty unique, non-traditional, coming from maybe an environment as a high school it's maybe a little bit limited, and maybe the mentality that you do these things, and yet here you are. So we appreciate you sharing your story. And again, I think we've got a great thing going on here in Jefferson County.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you.